Hey guys, I just want to say thank you very much for joining in today. It's great to have you guys live here. Really enjoying today. I'm actually out in our studio in Arizona, and the weather out here is just perfect. It's sunny every day now that monsoon season's over, and really just wanted to talk to you guys about a selling system. What is a selling system? Do you use a selling system? How important is it to have a selling system? But I wanted to talk to you about the benefits of using a selling system, and not just any selling system, because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of different selling systems out there, but one that works best for you and your company. When you find a system that actually works for you and your team, it's so powerful and it's so effective. It leads to more sales and more success each and every time. However, what happens if you go with the wrong selling system? Really, what happens? Well, it can lead to some more disaster and disturbing results as you move forward. We really don't want those disastrous results. We want to really move forward. We really want to be implementing a selling system that doesn't fail. But what happens if we're implementing a selling system that does fail? To qualify and convert those leads, costly and frustrating opportunities are gone, right? It gives inconsistent results, excessive customer complaints. We don't want those. And even staff turnover. When you start using a selling system that really doesn't work for your organization or your team, we get this thing called cognitive overload, right? Anything that we're trying to do, even if you bought a car that has a stick shift, you have to learn how to actually move that clutch, move the stick shift, and move through, or the paddles. My wife still does not know how to drive a stick shift. So when we drive the Corvette, she's like, I can't drive. And she's unwilling to learn. Well, I can't hold that against her. But when we have a selling system that we're implementing, one of the cognitive dissonance or cognitive overload things that happen is salespeople unwilling to learn the selling system. Now, we have to look at it like this. This is an organized plan of attack. How do we be consistent and have the tools necessary as we go out on the field? The more that we have a selling system, the more successful we're going to be at giving our product or service to the customer. If we do not have a selling system, we're kind of aimlessly looking around and grabbing at straws, and we're not really that successful. In order to be successful, we need a good system to be set up. Look at any quarterback, look at any pitcher in baseball. They have a system. Look at golfers when they're about to hit a ball off the tee box or putt that putt for $1 million. They have a system and it's consistent. Ineffective selling systems also halt your business and its growth. They hurt your profit margins. They impede the long-term future of your business and can cost you your customers. A business without a selling system or training a selling system, you need to have that in place. It would be disorganized if you didn't have a selling system and you didn't have training, and they go together. We would be wasting money and time. We need to have consistent results with our business, and having a selling system really helps us with that. Last thing I want you guys to be is ineffective and wasting your time, spinning your wheels, buying something that you're never going to use or your team's not. And are you checking in with your team, making sure that they feel comfortable with it and able to go anywhere with it, even if the things go wrong? Things go wrong in a conversation, they sure do. So how do we impact the importance of a selling system? A selling system is essentially a roadmap for your reps and for you. And it doesn't matter how talented your sales team really is or how hard they work. Without a roadmap for success, you're making their team's job harder. than it really needs to be. So, I mean, if you go out there and not have a selling system, you're kind of already making it harder for them because they're trying to figure it out as they go along. Now, a squirrel can find a nut every now and then, right? But I've seen some really good salespeople that have a selling system, but they don't really know what it is, and they use it as they go along. Great. If they're successful, fantastic. What I find is when salespeople are not successful, we really need to look at their selling system and their roadmap. And where are they really leading to? Or are they leading to nowhere? Knowing what needs to be done at each stage of a sale is important. This gives the sales rep a huge advantage over a salesperson who's just really winging it or cowboying it up every time. Without clearly defined steps and milestones that guides that salesperson, right, from that prospecting to presenting an offer to have that sale completed, even the most promising deals can slip away due to disorganization. So when we look at this, are we organized or are we not organized as we're moving forward? Now, a selling system will have a set of steps your sales team will learn and use to convert a prospect into a customer. This is how you organically grow your business. I mean, truly organic growth. This adds structure to the accountability to your sales activities, leading to higher win rates. And what are those ratios looking like right now for you, for your team, for your organization? And you can really shorten that sales cycle each and every time. If we're constantly paying attention to this and measuring the results, we're going to do a lot better. How using the wrong selling system could really hurt you, the salesperson, your organization, or your team. And I can't stress it enough, how the wrong system will hurt your business. Your team may end up prioritizing the wrong sales leads. Your team not only understandingly and knowingly getting to know your customers and just won't be able to close a sale no matter what. That's where it's really important to know what type of selling system you're actually using. Is it effective? Leads can come in from many different platforms, and not all of them are going to be legit. I've seen so many of them that they're not legit. Too legit to quit, right? We need better leads that we can really take, harness, and move forward. If your team doesn't know what to look for, they might waste their time on the wrong leads. And we're going in another direction that we should be going this direction, a true north for the company. And a selling system should be helping us guide that and wean those customers that we can't help. They're not going to buy from us. We can't help them. We need to be able to move them onto another platform so that we can go ahead and really service the people that really need our services. Thanks to the internet, customers are doing a lot more research into products and services before reaching out and talking to a sales rep. Your team needs to have a deep understanding of your ideal customer and what their needs and what knowledgeable areas do they need to know on the factors that may sway their purchasing decisions. Are your sales teams educated on that? In most cases, they are. How often do you do continuing education on that as well? Using the wrong sales system and not having the proper roadmap in place will just waste time and money. It would be frustrating for you and your reps. There will be inconsistent results, and your company probability won't see that growth as it's looking into the future until you find a way that actually works for them. Now, how much time and effort does that really cost? How much time and effort does it really take? You know, the sales system that I used after being a CEO for 24 years and working in other logistics roles as well, prior to starting Becker Logistics, I tried many different selling systems. Some have worked wonders for me, my team, colleagues, everyone around me, while others fell to the wayside pretty quickly. Though that, at that time, I developed my own selling system that I now use today. And I wanted to share that system with you and what really helps in a system like this. The first step happens before ever picking up the phone. And that is qualifying a lead. You really need to qualify that lead. Make sure that this is someone that you are actually interested in selling to. Someone that has a problem that you can actually solve. Once you have done that, you're ready to set a meeting and start the actual sale. The worst thing to do is keep trying to sell to someone that you really can't satisfy. They're never going to be happy with you or your service or products. So you have to be very careful on qualifying. The sales process itself should start with a good old-fashioned relationship building. Yeah. So we're going into this area where we're building that relationship. This is so important for two reasons. One is to let the prospect know that they're dealing with an actual person. You're not just here to go through the motions. And number two, it puts them at ease. You don't want to be making a pitch to someone that just wants to get to the next meeting. Absolutely not. Don't run into that. Don't accept that. You got to slow that process down. The second step in my selling system is to make promises. I mean, really, promises. Throw it out there. I usually do this by stating a couple key facts in the beginning of the pitch. How long is it going to take? What is it going to be covered? And let them know how I can answer these questions along the way. This is important because it adds some structure and allows you to show some integrity when you fulfill on these promises. It's really important. The third step is uncovering and addressing the prospect's problems. If you did this at step 0 correctly, then you should already have a good idea of what the problems that your prospect is actually facing. It is important to address these in your presentation and to see if there are any additional problems that they are having. Fourth, let's get really into this because this is where it gets exciting. Number 4, it's going over everyone's favorite topic. It's the money, right? What is their spend like? What's their forecast? Are they budgeting? Are they forecasting? Very important. Or are they just looking for the best deal? How can you negotiate to find something that is going to work for you and your customer, your prospect? This will really make or break a lot of meetings, but hopefully in the qualifying stage, you found that your product or service wasn't completely in their price range and you can just walk away. Why would you try to make a relationship fit when there's really nothing there? Let's stop wasting the customer's time or the prospect's time, and let's stop wasting your time so that you can go on and really find someone that can really use your product or service. And this is just not for transportation. This is in anything. Some people are they're not interested in buying. They're just there for some reason. Let's get to step number 5. Step number 5, make the agreement. Make sure that the buying process is agreed upon in every detail. Is there anyone else that needs to be approved for this purchase? Sometimes it's not just the person you're talking to. Maybe there's several other people that need approval also. Maybe the person you're talking to isn't even the person that's going to approve it. It's the other person. Maybe it's a husband and wife, depending on what you're selling. When will everything be finalized? That's when you actually have that sale. And are there any other steps that need to be made in this process? As we look at other steps, let's go to number 6. And in 6, it's simply to honor the sale. Make sure that your product is delivered or your service is executed flawlessly. If you are making sales, you better make sure that the customer is getting what they paid for. Otherwise, you've got a lot of other problems that are going to be coming up and biting you really quickly. So last step, number 7, which isn't really a step, but it's the entire other process. It is to continue selling to that customer, and repeat customers are vital in every business out there. This is your organic growth. Once they make the sale, or once you make the sale, you can't afford to just completely forget about them. Have a process in place to make sure that they are presented with many more opportunities to purchase from you. This is the organic growth, going back to them and asking, do you have another lane, or is there another area of something that I can help you with? So as we go through this whole process, you have to understand that you're just washing and repeating. Maybe asking them about referrals. Do you have 3 to 5 referrals that could use our services? This is a system that I now use. I use it on a regular basis. And when done right, the buyer becomes convinced that they are the one pursuing the deal and not the other way around. It really kills me when I hear salespeople calling me and trying to pitch me, and they sound like a salesperson. I get turned off by that right away. But when they have a good selling system and they get me, and I felt comfortable through the whole thing, they held me gingerly through that whole process. And it really stems from the start, when our sales reps are building and sustaining a relationship with our customers. That's where you feel like you're in their hands, and it feels really comfortable. So let's take a look here and see if we have any questions. Pulling that up. All right. 2 questions. Are you considering expanding your sales team? Well, Freddie, I mean, we're always extending our sales team, but with everything right now with salespeople out there, we're looking for fantastic salespeople. We really are. In that situation, we are expanding. We've hired, 50 people this year so far, and most of which are salespeople. Absolutely. I have another question here. What's the most important step of a selling system? The most important step of a selling system is knowing it. Like knowing it in 7 seconds or less. Like you just rattle it off, all 7 steps. If you can't do it each step in 1 second each, then you really don't know that selling system. Think of it like you're driving back home, or you're going to the grocery store, or you're going to pick up your dry cleaning, or you're going to your mother's house, or you're going to your child's house. Whatever the case may be, how quick are you remembering that? Or is it something that you have to write down? Or is it something that you have to put in your GPS? If that's the case, you probably shouldn't be a taxi driver, because you're not really good at directions. And if you don't have a selling system, you probably shouldn't be selling. That's how important a selling system is. It's not to try and use, trickery or something with someone. It's not. It's basically, here are the steps that we're moving forward. Think of it as cooking. You have a recipe. When you're looking at something, do you have a recipe to really get something answered? And are you changing it up as you go along? Because I know I do. So that's really good. So great. Thank you both for your questions. But in conclusion, I didn't find our selling system right away. I really did. I went many years without a selling system. I thought, I have this up here. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to cowboy it up, I used to call it. It might take some time before you find what really works for your team and your company. A selling system addresses the interaction between the sales rep and the customer. And they're providing a game plan for success. It's called setting the table. And when you find your selling system, and one that works for you. You have your team trained on it, and you work with your team and your learning and development team, and you really make sure that everybody knows the selling system and how to maneuver from every single point of it. You'll see that your company has taken on major steps forward as you have that selling system, and your company will continue to be growing more so than it ever has before. What selling system are you using? What have you found that works for you and your organization? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe we'll be able to help you. Or maybe someone out there has a selling system and they'd like to share. You know, two of them that I know of is Spin Selling and Sandler System. They're great. And there's several offices out there across the whole United States for both of those that you could probably call up and get a free demo. Well, listen, I want to thank each and every one of you for really being out here, spending time with us today for your lunch. I hope you had a blessed day. Thank you for joining us. And if you could be so kind, put a thumbs up on that. Let's like these. If you can, comment. And if you can really do me a favor, if you've made it this far, hit that little share button and share it on your profile. Let other people know. With that, from Phoenix or in Scottsdale, Arizona, from our studio here, have a great day. Bye-bye now.